I'm 75 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. Everything you think you know about being a good woman, it was incomplete, and it cost a lot of us our lives. And the worst part, the people who taught you this, your mother, your grandmother, society, they weren't trying to hurt you. They just didn't know any better because they were living with the same incomplete story. You see, I spent 50 years of my life being perfect, the perfect daughter, the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect grandmother. I thought I had it all figured out. I had the marriage, 51 years. I had the children, 4 of them. I had the immaculate home, the homemade meals, the volunteering, the always being available. I had respect. People said, she's such a good woman. But 3 years ago, something happened that shattered everything I thought I knew about my life. My husband died. Heart attack. Sudden. Gone. And what I discovered in the silence that followed has completely changed how I see life, womanhood, and everything in between. But before I tell you what I realized, I need you to understand something. The reason I'm making this video isn't to impress you or make myself feel wise. I'm making this because I'm 75 years old. I'm running out of time. And there are things you need to hear before it's too late. Not for me, for you. After Bob died, I did what every good woman does. I kept going. I cooked meals for one. I cleaned the house. I babysat the grandchildren. I showed up at every family event with a smile. Everyone said, she's handling it so well. But 6 months after the funeral, I was sitting in my living room, the house that had been full of noise for 50 years, and I realized something terrifying. I had no idea who I was. For 53 years, I had been defined by other people. Bob's wife, the kids' mom, Nana to the grandchildren. But who was I? Just me. Alone, without anyone to take care of. I couldn't answer. I looked in the mirror and saw a stranger, a woman who had spent 7 decades becoming an expert at everyone else's needs, everyone else's schedules, everyone else's happiness. But her own, she had forgotten, or maybe she never knew. And here's the part that haunts me to this day. If I had died that day, if my heart had stopped like Bob's did, what would I have left behind? A clean house, a lifetime of service, a legacy of being. Good? Let me tell you the biggest lie you're probably telling yourself right now. I have time. I'll do that later. When the kids are grown, when I retire, when things settle down, then I'll finally do what I want. I see women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, and they're all saying the same thing. When the grandchildren are older, then I'll travel. When my husband retires, then we'll do things together. When I'm not so busy, then I'll take that class. When? Let me save you 20 years of regret with one simple truth. That day never comes. You know why? Because you've spent so long putting everyone else first that you don't even know what you want anymore. You get to retirement and suddenly have all this time, and you have no idea what to do with it. Because you never practiced living for yourself. I did this. I spent 50 years being needed, being useful, being good, and when I finally had time for myself, I was lost. Here's something nobody tells you when you're young. Being selfless is not a virtue when it becomes self-erasure. And I say this as someone who won every Good Woman award society offers. I was the wife who supported her husband's career. I was the mother who sacrificed everything. I was the grandmother who was always available. You achieve good woman status, and you know what you get? Exhaustion, resentment, and the terrifying realization that you don't exist outside of what you do for others. I had a friend, her name was Patricia, who died 2 years ago at 76. Spent her entire life taking care of everyone. Her husband, her children, her aging mother, her grandchildren. Kept saying she'd travel when things calmed down. She'd learn to paint when she had time. She'd reconnect with her sister when things weren't so busy. She had a stroke, gone within 3 days. At her funeral, her daughter said, "My mother never lived a single day for herself. Is that the legacy you want? Your regrets won't be about the things you did wrong. They'll be about the things you never did at all. I don't lie awake at night thinking about the imperfect dinners I served. Those don't matter. You know what keeps me up? The art classes I never took because I was too busy. The friendships I let die because I was always caring for family. The trips I postponed because someone always needed me more. The dreams I buried because good women don't have dreams. They support other people's dreams. These things eat at you. The missed opportunities. The roads not taken. The self you never became because you were too busy being what everyone else needed. The people you love, your children, your grandchildren, your husband, if you still have him, you think they need your constant sacrifice. They don't. You know what they need? A whole person, not a martyr. After that realization in my living room, I made changes, real changes, scary changes. First, I went to Paris alone. My daughter was horrified. "Mom, you can't travel alone at your age." I went anyway. It wasn't glamorous. My knees hurt. I got lost. I was exhausted every evening. But I sat in a cafe by myself and watched the world go by. And I thought, this moment is mine. Nobody needs me right now. I'm just here. It was the first real breath I'd taken in 50 years. Second, I started saying no. Can you babysit this weekend? That doesn't work for me. No elaborate excuse, no guilt, just no. My children were shocked, then annoyed. Then they figured it out. The kids were fine. The world kept turning. Third, I stopped keeping the house perfect. For 50 years, I scrubbed and cleaned and organized like my worth depended on it. Now, the dishes sit overnight sometimes. There's dust on the shelves. And you know what happened? Nothing. Nobody died. Nobody even really noticed except me. Fourth, I found myself again. I joined a watercolor class. I'm terrible at it, but those Thursday mornings, they're mine. I have lunch with friends, and we don't talk about our grandchildren. We talk about us, our thoughts, our lives. It feels revolutionary. Fifth, I stopped apologizing for existing. Sorry, do you have a minute? Sorry, sorry for bothering you. I was apologizing for taking up space, for having needs, for being human. Now I just exist. No apologies. Here's what I wish someone had told me at 50, at 40, at 30. 1, your children will survive your boundaries. I thought being a good mother meant never saying no, never being unavailable, never putting myself first. What I actually taught my daughters was, women don't matter. Women exist to serve. My daughters learned to disappear just like I did. My sons learned to expect service from women. I did that, and I regret it. 2, selfish is what people call women who have boundaries. The first time I said no to babysitting, I was called selfish by people I'd been selflessly serving for decades. That's when I understood. Selfish just means inconvenient to people who benefit from your self-sacrifice. 3, your husband, if you still have him, doesn't need you to disappear. I thought Bob wanted a wife who had no needs, no desires, no life of her own. You know what he told me a month before he died? He said, "I wish you'd done more things for yourself. You were always so busy taking care of everyone." I thought I was being a good wife. He thought I was being small. 4, if you're widowed, that grief can also be freedom, if you let it be. I loved my husband. I mourned him. I still miss him. And both of those things can be true. I can miss him and acknowledge that his death freed me from 51 years of putting someone else's needs before my own. That's not disrespectful to his memory. That's honest about mine. 5, you're running out of time. At 75, I don't have 20 years. I probably don't have 10. Every single day I don't use is a day I'll never get back. That sounds obvious. But it took me 7 decades to truly understand it. Every single day, you're getting closer to the end. Time changes everything. People change. Seasons end. That's why waiting is so expensive. Your parents, if they're still alive, won't be here forever. Neither will your husband, your children, your friends. Every relationship has a final conversation. You just don't know which one it is. So what are you going to do? Keep putting yourself last? Keep waiting for permission to have a life? Keep telling yourself you'll do what you want someday? Or are you going to wake up today and start living like your time is limited? Because it is. If I could go back and talk to my 40-year-old self, here's what I would say. Stop trying to be the perfect woman. Perfect women don't exist. They're just exhausted women. Stop sacrificing yourself for people who will forget your sacrifice the moment it stops being convenient. Stop waiting for permission to want things, to need things, to be something other than useful. Start saying no. Start taking up space. Start doing one thing, just one thing, purely for yourself. And most importantly, start now, not next year, not when the grandchildren are older, not when you have more time, now. Because the perfect time doesn't come. Life will always give you a reason to wait, a reason to put yourself last, a reason to be good instead of real. But if you wait, you'll wake up at 75 and realize you waited your entire life away. I'm 75. If I'm lucky, maybe 10 more years. Maybe 5, probably less, and I'm okay with that. Because these last 3 years have been the richest of my life. Not because I made more money, not because I achieved more things, because I finally started living for myself. I traveled, I learned, I said no, I said yes, I took up space. I stopped apologizing. I'm happier now at 75 with limited time ahead than I was at 30 when I thought I had forever. That's the irony. When you understand time is limited, you stop wasting it on being good. You start using it to be real. You have a choice right now. Today, keep living the way you're living, being good, being selfless, being invisible, or wake up. Realize your time is running out and start living like it. I can't make this choice for you, but I can tell you you don't want to be 75, looking back, wishing you'd been selfish sooner. I'm Dorothy. I'm 75 years old. I wasted 50 years being a perfect woman. These last 3 years, I've been an imperfect, selfish, real woman, and I've never been happier. If this resonates with you, share this video. Send it to your mother, your sister, your daughter, the woman you know who's drowning in goodness. Leave a comment. Tell me, what's the one thing you're going to stop waiting to do? Subscribe, because I have more truths to share, and not much time left. The clock is ticking. What are you going to do with your time?